Okay, so it's not that often that I share beauty on this channel, and it's not that often that I cover sales, but the Sephora Spring Savings event is one that I couldn't pass up. So today I am sharing with you all of my favorites from Sephora. Everything in this bag I actually have on my face today, and I have a few other favorites as well, but this is such a great sale because right now from April 10th through the 20th, they have tiered savings from 10 to 20% and on their Sephora brand products up to 30%. So this is definitely a time of year to stock up on those beauty favorites or to try out something new. Okay, so when it comes to concealer, I don't mess around. There is only one for me, and that is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. I mostly use the shade 1N, but I actually have a few other shades as well. But this is the one that I really love for brightening up under the eyes and just adding a little bit of dimension to the face. If you have oily to combination normal skin, this is definitely a fantastic stay in place wear all day concealer that gives you great coverage. So when it comes to foundations, I am a little bit more experimental because I like different foundations for different things. So let me explain what I mean by that. So for today on camera, one of my favorite foundations, and this is going to be one that's really great for like a date night or a special event when you really want your makeup to look flawless and last all day long. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler foundation. This is absolutely beautiful. I would say more medium to full coverage, lasts all day, stays in place. I have slightly oilier combination skin, but I think this would be good for all skin types. It is not drying, but it really stays put and looks beautiful. Now, I do have some other foundations that I absolutely love for different reasons, and I wanted to share with you a new favorite of mine, which is the NARS Natural Matte Longwear Pore Blurring Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. That is a mouthful, but for a really great foundation. So if you are someone who is, slightly oilier skin, this is going to be fantastic because you get that matte, but without being drying or dull looking. It actually has a beautiful, kind of luminous finish to it. I really love this one. I think it lasts and lasts. It has a little bit of more of a light to medium coverage, I would say, on this one. So this is more like an everyday foundation, not quite as long wearing as the Lawless, but really beautiful finish, really gorgeous on the skin, and one that a lot of my friends have also been enjoying. I think this is a perfect everyday foundation. And just one more foundation that I really love. This one is the one that I wear when I'm going to be outdoors, when I'm going to the beach, or when I'm on the boat, because it's going to give me great coverage, SPF, lasts all day, and looks really beautiful and natural. And this is by IT Cosmetics. This is their CC Cream Natural Matte Foundation with SPF 40. So of course I still wear my sunscreen underneath, but this gives me the added protection of SPF 40. It's beautiful on the skin. It is matte that it wears long on my skin, but it does not have a flat matte look. It has a very luminous, beautiful look to the skin, very natural. This really, really lasts. I can be on the boat all day with this, even get into the water, and I still feel like I have that coverage. Really great product. Now, I know for some of you, setting powder is probably a bad word if you have dry skin, but if you have normal to oily or combination skin, you probably need to set your foundations and concealers with some setting powder, and I definitely need to set my entire face with setting powder because I do get a little bit shiny throughout the day, but my absolute favorite is this one by the brand One Size. This is their ultimate setting powder in the shade Translucent. They also have a beautiful pink shade that's great for brightening. This is really, really fantastic, and I love to set this with another Sephora item that I forgot to put in the bag, but it is fantastic. It's their little velour powder puff, their little triangle. I'll definitely link that one as well. It is an absolute favorite of mine, such a good one for setting powder, especially underneath the eyes, around the T-zone area. But this is going to give you that very light and beautiful coverage that keeps you nice and oil-free all day. Okay, so I'm already out of order here, so this is going to be in no particular order. I'm just kind of grabbing from the bag, but another product that I use every single day is this Dior bronzer. So I just love this. First of all, you get so much product in this. I don't think that I'm ever going to use it all up, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. I can use this to contour a little bit on my cheekbones, my nose, my forehead, my chin, but it also has a warmer tone, which gives me a bronzier shade, which I actually really prefer. I don't really love to use a lot of contour specific products because they can look a little bit dull and graying on my skin. I like something that has more of a warm tone, and this is perfect. Now I will list all of my colors down below in the description box because of course without my readers on, I can't read any of these shades. So if you're looking for shade details, definitely look down there in that description box. Okay, so I am definitely someone who is a bit extra, so I don't just use a powder, bronzer, contour. I also use a cream. This actually goes on first before I put setting powder or any of my powder products. I love to use this to kind of like carve out the cheekbones a little bit. I use with a little brush. I'll link some of the brushes down below. A lot of my brushes are not Sephora, but I do have a few favorites from Sephora. But this is a gorgeous cream bronzing stick, so I love to carve out some cheekbones, do the forehead a little bit, underneath my nose. Just such a pretty product. It really warms up my skin a lot and has a great shade variety as well. So this is a newer product, but a really, really good one. And again, lots of product. You don't need much. This is going to last a really long time. Now, when it comes to blushes, I am a blush junkie. I have so many different blushes that I really, really love, but there is definitely a favorite that I reach for time and time again. When I know that I want my makeup to look really, really good, I'm really reaching for these YSL blushes. These are gorgeous. They have the perfect amount of luminosity to really add a little bit of glow, but not too much where they're adding like texture to my skin or glittery particles to the skin. My favorite color is this one, which is number 93. I'll look up, I don't know the name of this one, but I would describe this as like the perfect peachy pink tone. So think of like NARS Orgasm, but more grown up, taking it to the next level. This is absolutely gorgeous and my go-to shade. So when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, there's really only a few that I reach for time and time again, and it's really rare that I would ever consider replacing one. But this one, I actually think I may need to repurchase during the sale. It's the Makeup by Mario palette in the Ethereal Eyes. Now, this was gone for a long time and they just brought it back. I was so excited to see that because as you can see, let's see if I can get that on camera, I have hit pan on my favorite shades and I'm kind of scared that this will go away and I won't be able to get it again. This is beautiful. I would describe this as a very like neutral palette because typically I am going for like warmer shades on my eyes, not cooler tones, but this is not super warm. This is definitely more neutral. I think if you like warm or cool tones, you're very likely going to love this neutral palette. It has some of those like pinkier shades to it, but also the browns and the pinky browns. It's just so pretty. It's such a great palette. There's so many looks you can do with this one. I just love it so much and definitely think it's going to go in my cart and I'm going to repurchase it so that I have a backup because I've already like almost completely used up the most neutral shade that I use for my entire lid. So this is such a good one. Can't recommend it enough. Okay, so highlighters are something that I'm always drawn to. I always want to try different ones, but you know, I'm usually very disappointed because so often they end up being like very chunky or glittery or adding texture to my skin. This one is gorgeous. This was a Nikki LaRose recommendation that I recently picked up. It's the Dior Forever Glow Luminizer, and I have it in the shade Gold Halo. This is so, so pretty. So first, I like to use this in just some simple ways. I always have a little touch of highlight at the tip of the nose. I put it in the corner of my eyes, sometimes along the brow bone a little bit, and sometimes just along the top of the cheekbone. Just a little bit of highlight goes a long way, but this one is so, so pretty. Nothing glittery or chunky, just kind of that lit from within glow. So definitely loving this product. And you're gonna see I really love like bronzy, glowy products. I can't help it. I use them all and I used all of these today. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the Luminous Bronze Light. So this is kind of what I use as like a finishing touch. So after I've done all of my makeup, blush, everything, I will go back with a fluffy brush and just dust this over my cheekbones, down my nose, top of my forehead. This gives me like a lit from within kind of like glowy look to the skin, which I really love because since I am oilier, I use a lot of like mattifying products like powder, like, you know, mattifying foundation. And in order to get some of that glow, I need to add a little bit of luminosity to the skin, but nothing that's going to make me oily. So having something like a luminous bronzing powder is a great way to do that. This also works beautifully in the crease of the eyes if you want to do a really simple eyeshadow look, but I am obsessed with these Hourglass illuminating powders, and this one in Luminous Bronze Light is my go-to shade. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about brows. I am not a brow girl. I don't really care about brows that much. I don't like to spend time on brows. I have definitely seen professional makeup artists and they always want to put a heavy brow on me. They always want to darken them and make them thicker. And I just personally hate the way that that looks on me. I feel like it's very aging and harsh on me. I like something really simple. I know that I have some sparse, areas of my brows. I don't really care. I like my brows really simple. So the only thing I use on them is this Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is like a little brow mascara. I don't know the exact name, but I will definitely link this for you. I always get the lightest blonde shade because I like to keep my brows very, very light. I know everyone has their preference for brows, but if you're someone who really likes an understated brow, this is a great, easy product to just kind of brush them into place, add a little bit, fill in maybe some of those little bald patches, and that is the only thing I use for brows. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that most of my makeup brushes actually are not available at Sephora. I mostly use BK Beauty brushes. I'll link those down below for you because there's some really, really great ones. You can get them on Amazon, but there are a few brushes that I got from Sephora that happen to be on my favorite brushes, use every day, must-have brushes. So this is my most favorite brush that I own. This is from Hourglass. It's a double-ended brush. This is one of the brushes that I use to do 90% of the, powder products on my face. So usually I'll use this fluffy side to do that luminous bronze light from Hourglass at the end, just finish everything off. A lot of times I'll use this side to do my Dior bronzer and kind of contour the cheekbones a little bit. And then I'll just wipe it off on a tissue and I'll use it to do my blush as well. So this is my go-to everything brush. I really, really love this brush. It is so worth it. I would definitely repurchase this one. And the only other brush that I have from Sephora that I use every single day is from House Labs. It's another dual-sided brush. So this side, I actually use this one for powder underneath the eyes or in the corners of the nose. It just seems to be the perfect shape and size for that. I don't know what it was meant for, but that's what I use it for. And this side is actually perfect for nose contour. So I love to just kind of rub in some of that bronzer on the tip of the nose, the sides of the nose, and this is perfect for just blending in those corners of the nose. So I don't know if they created it for that, but I think it is the perfect brush for that. And I love that they're dual-sided because I get lots of use out of it. One of the steps that I think is just absolutely so important to getting the great bold lash look and beautiful eye makeup is curling your lashes. So don't be afraid, ladies. It is not scary. It doesn't hurt. You just have to be careful, but this is such a great one. I've been using this for years. I always have to curl my lashes. It is a must-have because if they're just laying flat and straight, you're not going to get that impact that you get when you really curl them. So this is the one from Shiseido. This is a really, really good eyelash curler. I've definitely tried a lot of different ones and I always come back to this one. If they're not strong enough, if they don't have a nice firm grip on the lashes, you're just not going to get that hold and that curl. And this one is really, really good. Cannot recommend it enough. I've repurchased it. I will keep purchasing this one. Such a good one. And after I curl my lashes, the next step is lash primer. Also something that you should never skip. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world to getting your mascara to really work for you. So the one that I've been loving, which is really messy from my drawer, is from the brand Tarte. This is their Tartelette lash primer. I forget what they call this. It's a white one, but it doesn't leave any real residue or anything that you can see once you put on your mascara. So I don't mind the white color. I just think this is a really good one. It is thicker, which I like because you're kind of getting those primed, nice thick lashes so that when I go in with mascara, it's just adding the color over the top of it and lengthening it, and it really does the trick. So really, really love this one. I've been using it for a while. Continue to repurchase it. Can't recommend it enough. And then as far as mascara, YSL Lash Clash has been my go-to for a while now. It's nice and thick and kind of like a chunkier mascara, which I actually like because I like the drama. I need something that's really gonna thicken and be nice and black on the lashes. But the problem with that mascara that I found is that it doesn't last very long in the tube. It definitely gets clumpy very quickly. So as much as I love it, I have been on the hunt for a new one, and I think I found my replacement. So this is a new one from Dior. What is this called? This is the Dior Show Over Volume. My goodness, I am so blind without my readers. I promise I will link it. I just think of it as the Dior one in the black packaging that has like quilting on it. Really pretty too, but this is really, really good. So I think what attracted me to trying this one was it was new and it said over volume, and I am all about the volume. I feel like I have long lashes, but they're not very thick and they're not dark at all. So I need something that's black and thickening, but of course I want them to be long and luscious as well. So all of these things combined is what really gives me like a nice false lash look. I am terrible with false lashes. I have purchased them so many times. I can't figure out how to make them work. So I have to have a good mascara game so that when I'm going somewhere special, I don't feel left out. You know, I don't feel like sad that I can't wear false lashes. I gotta have the lash game has to be strong, and this is really, really good. Okay, so this next product is one I have repurchased several times, and it is the Dior foundation stick. Now, I forgot to put this with foundations, but the reason for that is that I don't use this on my face because I have oilier skin. This doesn't really work for my face. It doesn't last. It's too creamy. However, this is fantastic if you have any like sun damage or anything on the neck area that you want to cover a little bit, which unfortunately for me, I definitely do. So I have some like spotting, a little bit of discoloration on my chest area. I hate pointing it out to you, but you've probably noticed. And it really sometimes bothers me, especially when I'm wearing something that's like lower cut or off the shoulder. And I really need to eventually get that lasered. I'm sure I could easily get it remedied with no problem. But A, I'm kind of a chicken. And B, the downtime of having like a red, you know, messed up chest area when you're trying to be on camera, it's a little scary. So what I use instead for the meantime is the Dior foundation stick. I put this on a little foundation brush and I just kind of like spackle it on the areas that kind of bother me with the discoloration. And it really does such a great job. So this is beautiful. It is a little bit more creamy. If you have drier skin on your face, I think this would be gorgeous on the face because it does apply beautifully. If you have oilier skin, it's probably not going to last on your face, but it's great for the chest because this area tends to be a little bit more dry anyway. So this is perfect, gives great coverage, and I haven't had any problems with transferring onto clothes. Okay, so when it comes to lip products, I definitely dabble in some different lipsticks, different shades, but I gotta be honest, most of them look almost identical to each other. It's so hard. When you guys ask me, oh, what lipstick were you wearing? I'm like, I have no idea. They all look the same. I mean, I really have a type when it comes to lipstick, and the type is typically like rosy toned shades that are more like rosy nudes or natural rosy colors or softer like pinky rose tones. So yeah, definitely have a type. I don't really go out of that very much. When it comes to lip liner, I absolutely have a favorite go-to shade that I think works with every single lipstick I put on my lips, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in this shade Super Size Me. I've recommended this to friends. They've all loved it as well. I feel like this is a my lips but better kind of shade. So I can line them with this and then do like a lighter shade. I can fill them in with this and then put something on top. I can put gloss on top. It's just so beautiful. Definitely try it. I love it. It's creamy and smooth, so you can kind of like blur it with your finger and rub it in and like get that coverage on the lips, but it does last pretty well. I repurchased these so much. I will definitely be picking up at least 2 or 3 in this sale. And then one of my newest favorites that I happen to be wearing today is this YSL product. I want to say they call this like a lip blur or something like that. I'll definitely link it for you guys, but so pretty. I love the shade on this one, and it looks really good with that Super Size Me liner. Hopefully you can see it on camera. But this is just a really pretty, soft, like kind of blurred look to the lips. Definitely has that like pinky tone. I am wearing the shade 01. So I think this is called like naked pink or nude pink, something like that, which of course appealed to me. That's right up my alley. Really, really beautiful. I have it on today. I grab this one a lot, and I think the case is also so pretty. Like, could anything be more me than this beautiful, like, soft pink? I mean, right up my alley. And then I usually like to top my lip products with a little gloss. So the one I've been loving lately is this sparkly pink from Dior. I think it's sparkly pink. I will definitely put that in the description. But this is really, really pretty. Probably isn't going to pick up that much on camera, but I have it on my lips. It just gives a little bit of like glossy pink glow to the lip shade, and these are great. It's not sticky at all. It's just really soft and moisturizing on your lips and really, really pretty. Okay, so let me share some skincare products that I have on today, and then we'll go into a few of the other things that I definitely want to share, even if I'm not wearing them today. But skincare products, oh my goodness, this is a new find, but I love it. This one, I am definitely going to be buying the big bottle. This is the Paula's Choice. This one is the 6% mandelic acid, 2% lactic acid liquid exfoliant. So good. Game changer, game changer, game changer. A couple of you guys have commented on my skin, like, what if I done anything different? Is my makeup different? I swear I think it's this product. So I have not been using a liquid exfoliant. I always just did like 2 or 3 times a week, chemical exfoliant, which I still think is really good and important because that's going to give you like that, very quick, like instant gratification, get the skin off, get it nice and moisturized. But this is a game changer. This is like a toner. You put it on a little cotton pad and you use it every single day. And I've noticed such a difference. I'm getting rid of any like flakiness, dullness. My pores are shrinking. It's so good. I put this in a favorites recently. If you guys have not tried this, I highly, highly recommend it. Such a good product. Okay, so when it comes to everyday sunscreens or even like going to the beach sunscreens and things like that, it's really scary when you have oily skin because a lot of times these things are just going to ruin your makeup application. Everything's just going to run off of your face, but I finally found one that really does not do that. And that's the Kiehl's Better Screen UV Serum Sunscreen. This is 50 plus SPF. This is so beautiful under makeup and it works for everything. It has collagen peptides in it, so you're also getting like some skin treatment while you're getting that SPF, and I love this one. I can put this on, then put on my makeup, and if I put this on and then I put that CC cream with like another 40 SPF, I feel like there's no sun getting on this face, which is really important to me since I have had skin cancer. But this is great. It doesn't ruin my makeup. It doesn't make me greasy. It lasts. It keeps me protected. Definitely a really great product. And then the last thing I put on my face today was this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard this. Probably every YouTuber you watch has talked about this stuff. And there's a reason it's so popular. It's just really, really good. Like, I like to put on, all of my products and then my powder products and then go in with like a layer of this after doing the powder products. And then once I'm done with all of my makeup, I'll go in with a light layer again. So I like to kind of like sandwich everything together because I just find that it really helps to make my makeup last, but also to kind of take away any like powdery or dullness that you get after using all of the powdered products. This is really fantastic. It's moisturizing, it's long lasting. I love this one. If you can get it on sale, definitely don't miss out. Okay, so those are the products that I have on my face right now, but I have some other things that I have to share because I really think that this is the time to buy the products. Either restock favorites or try something new, but if you can get 10 to 20% off, that is a big saving. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that I didn't use this morning, but I do use regularly. So starting with hair products. Okay, first, this is an oldie but a goodie. I've been using this for years and years and years, and it's the Kerastase Nutritive Heat Protecting Styling Cream for dry hair. Now, I don't really have dry hair, but my hairdresser has been using this on me for years, so I just kind of copied what he was doing, and it's fantastic. Like, my hair isn't dry, it's more normal. I would say my scalp is a little bit oily, but don't be afraid by the dry hair thing. This is just a heat protectant and styling cream, and it's really one of the only things that I put on my wet hair when I'm starting to style it. So I put probably about like I don't know, like a dime size, maybe a little bit bigger in my palm, rub my hands together, and with wet hair, I go through it with this, and it just is so good at keeping the texture of your hair just nice and smooth, keeping it styled, protecting it from, hair dryers and curling irons. Definitely one that I've probably had well over a dozen bottles, and I will be repurchasing during the sale. And also for hair products, the go-to shampoo and conditioner that I'm always reaching for is the Kerastase Blonde Absolute Hydrating Illuminating Shampoo. This is really great if you have blonde hair. All the Kerastase products I have found to be fantastic and really good at keeping the healthy quality of your hair. So I have been dyeing my hair, bleaching my hair, highlighting my hair since I was in 8th grade. I kid you not. I started getting highlights in 8th grade, all the way through high school highlights, got into college, started coloring the roots and adding highlights. I mean, I have done all the things to my hair, and these products really keep my hair super healthy. So if you have blonde hair, this purple one is good because it really helps to, take out any brassiness from the hair. So I use the clear one for every day, and then once in a while when I want to take out any of the brassiness, I use the purple one. And then for the conditioner, I use the matching Blonde Absolute conditioner. Really, really good. Keeps your blonde beautiful, keeps you from getting that brassy dullness to your hair, and just keeps it hydrated and healthy. Now, I think it's really important to once in a while shampoo with a detox shampoo. So I would say once a week, I usually do this, or once every other week, I will first wash my hair with this detox shampoo. This is from K18. It's their Peptide Prep Clarifying Detox Shampoo. So I love to do this first. It's like a charcoal based shampoo, and that will get out any of the buildup from your products and things that you use. And then I'll go in with the Blonde Absolute after that to kind of have my, regular nice moisturizing shampoo. But definitely a good thing to use a detox shampoo, whether it's once a week or every other week. I think it's a great way to get all of that buildup off of your hair and scalp. And another favorite product of mine, this is not one that I put on this morning, but it is definitely one that gets thrown in my purse all the time, especially for events and things. Such a good one. And that is the NARS Afterglow Lip Shine Gloss in the color Orgasm. This is a beautiful gold toned kind of peachy color that I use as a lip topper. Now you could use this just right over that Super Size Me liner and it would be gorgeous, but you can put this over any lip shade and it will give it just a little bit of this goldish tone highlight to it. Really, really beautiful, so natural, and just one of my favorites. I've repurchased this one several times and I will definitely be repurchasing it during the sale. Okay, so lip colors are probably one of the things that I get asked about the most. I wanted to include another one that I've really, really been loving. This is, I would say, a little bit more of a soft, rosy pink shade. Really pretty. Definitely falls in line with the shades that I always love. Also goes with that Super Size Me liner. This one's from Dior. It's their Rouge Dior On Stage lipstick in the color Daring Blush. So they have some really beautiful colors in this one, but Daring Blush is definitely a favorite of mine. This is a great everyday shade that I would for sure recommend if you like those soft pinky rose tones. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for sticking it out with me. I know that was a long one and a lot of products to share, but I think it's such a great sale that I didn't want you to miss out. So I'll have all of those details of the sale listed down below. Also, those links will be there in the description box, as well as my shades and all of the different colors and things. So definitely check that out if you're looking for that information. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I really hope you will do that. It is free to you and it really helps me out. Give this video a thumbs up if you'd like to see more beauty on this channel. And I hope you guys have a great week. Take care.